Let's go back here to our routine. And first time home buyer roadmap was the routine title, right? So, and it was based off of the new lead date. Now, whenever we look at each one of these routines, we saw that it had in there the action and it had the template. Whenever you look at the template, down here at the bottom, you'll see that it's tagged with whatever the title was, and also tagged with, it says AI, meaning it was AI generated, but first time home buyer roadmap. So it took the title of the routine and added it as a tag to the template itself. Why is that important? Well, I'll show you why. So on the left-hand side over here, we have templates. We have routines, obviously, it created that. If I go into templates now, it will take me and give me a list of all the routines, all the templates that were created for routines or for manual process, however you want. You'll see that in this one, it's tagged first time home buyer roadmap. First time home buyer roadmap. These are all the ones that were just created. They're at the top of my list because over here in this area over here, I've specifically said I want them listed by when they were created. You can say modified. If I want to do it by modified date, I can do that. And do I want to see them ascending or descending? So by having it either created or modified, my newest ones, if I have it descending order, means my newest ones are at the top, my older ones are at the bottom. So I can see my newest emails always at the top instead of worrying about title. Now I can say, show them to me by order of title, in which case that's all over the place and it's kind of hard to do. But I want to see when was it created or when it was modified, and I can do that. Now, the other thing, you'll see that I've got 1,600 templates, a lot of templates. But maybe I want to limit what I've got here to just the ones I just created. The ones I just created were the ones with the title of First Time Home Buyer Roadmap. I can click on that tag, it highlights it, and it says, oh, we've gone down from 1,600 down to 7. So now if I look at my list, it's only those 7. I've filtered down to just those items. It's the same thing as if I came over here to the filter and selected the tag from my list. But in this case, you can just click on the actual tag and it does the exact same thing. It's a lot easier. If I wanted to, I can click on it again and it removes that filter. Maybe I want to see everything that was AI generated. So I can click on AI and I've got 1,100 of these were all generated using AI. So, basically you've got to, choose what you want and figure it out. If you've, done something with a series of them and you want to just kind of look at just those, you can do that. Now, by doing this, I could also come up here and say multi-select, select all, and maybe I want to print all of these. I can go over here and choose print. Do I want to do email only, SMS only, or both? Maybe I want to see all of them. And if they have different flavors of languages, you can choose which language you want to print. But then it takes all of those emails and creates a single document with all of them in there so that you can then go in there and actually read them on your own time without going through them step by step. This is a huge time saver. It'll have it broken up by language. It'll have it broken up by its type, either email or SMS, the version of what you want. So each template can have either email or SMS. And for those people that want to do snail mail, I'll probably have a snail mail option on here as well. I'll just call it print, but AKA snail mail. That's actually coming back. A lot of people
It is.
are doing more of that because so many people are ignoring their emails. Maybe they'll get something in the mail that they'll actually read.
Analog is hot.
Analog is hot. Yeah. All right. So in either case, you can print all of your documents as samples and stuff. You can tag, you can untag, any of these if you wanted to deal with some tagging and untagging and a lot of working. One of the things that I've really spent a lot of time on because I know people come in from different applications, different CRMs of different types, and data cleanup is not fun. I get it. But we try to reduce the amount of friction as much as possible. Being able to remove duplicates, being able to tag groups of people, being able to add content in different ways. And I've really spent a lot of time trying to help you guys be more efficient in your cleanup as well. Be careful on the delete. If you delete all 7 of them, then your routines will never work. So hit cancel, and that gets it out of multi-select mode. And now we're just individually select. When we select it, you can see each one individually. Whenever you look at it, you can see the template itself visually on the screen. Over on the right-hand side, you can tell that this is a contact template by the little contact icon that's on there. If it's a property, it'll have a property. If there's a listing, it'll have a listing icon. One of the things you will see, like here, some of these are different colors. You'll see the little icon right here that this is a transaction template. If I click on that, you'll see over here, it's got the little icon that it's a transaction template. And so it'll have transactional merge fields and stuff in there. So the different colors, green for transaction, there's blue for listing. So this is the listing templates. Same types of things, all that's in there. So you can kind of differentiate all your different templates. In the filters area, you can specify, will only show me my transactional items. So you can go in there and just show the transactionals. You can do it by tag, or just show me my transactionals that have emails, email parts to it. You can create a template with just one side if you want. Maybe just the ones that have SMS. But in either case, you've got some ability to filter and find and search. And maybe I want to come in here and do any kind of thing that does walkthrough. So if I type walkthrough in my search, it finds it anywhere in the title or in the body of that template very quickly, very easily, finding that information. One of the things that Cody built, which I thought was brilliant whenever he first started, was the ability to analyze your templates. So if I come in here and click on analyze, it will take that template and it will score it. What's the sentiment? Is it a positive or is it negative? Is it neutral? Does it need to be more exciting? Is it too boring? Does it have a call to action? If it doesn't have a call to action, then maybe I want to adjust that, and I can adjust my pieces. And it uses AI to rewrite your template based off of these different things. Does it have the correct voice? Maybe you've imported things from other systems and you've put your voice into your profile, but the template that was written is not in your voice. You can come in here and say, write it to my voice, and it will rewrite it. So what happens then is if I adjust this, I can do an adjustment. It takes and it'll add a call to action to this. So now click here, to contact us immediately. So it added some additional stuff. So now it's rescored it. Now we've got 8s across the board, which is great. I can save those changes. Whenever I save those changes, then I click on save. Now I have the saved information on there. So you have some really powerful capabilities here of doing different things that you want to do within each of those templates. One of the things that we do for you guys, whenever you create a template, if you modify it, it saves your versions. So if you screwed something up and you want to go back to a previous version, it'll have this little has versions available icon there, and I can go to a different version and I can select it if it does have other versions that can be picked from. So there's a safety net there. If you've done the analyzing and you decided, no, I don't want that, you can go back to a previous version if you want. Anything that has SendGrid, actually, let me turn off walkthrough here. We talked about the integration for SendGrid, and the advantage of using SendGrid over Outlook or Gmail is the ability to track that information. What you can do here is you can click on and see how often were things clicked on, how often were they opened, or whatever. So there's lots of possibilities here. And most of this is all demo stuff, so I don't really have great numbers on any one of these. What you can do is, if you have this in there, it uses some AI stuff to better identify it, but you can click on the different elements, see who they are, and do things with those people. Maybe you want to, everybody that clicked on it, that opened up something, you want to send them a follow-up email. You can select that. You can send them a follow-up email manually and do some things. So very powerful, but you can do that in your template if you have that SendGrid capability turned on.
So something that I'd kind of like to also riff on, just because I do the marketing piece, and something that one of our community members brought up that's just super valuable for you guys to understand is there's two sides of the coin. There's the messages that we are sending to leads, to customers, and to past clients, and then there's marketing messages. And those are going to have two different sides of the coin. But what you can do when you decide to use that SendGrid piece is you can start building out those different filtered views. And so this is more for the marketing piece, right? I preload that. This is for the marketing piece. Because what you can do, or what we do, is I will send out a marketing piece, and you guys for this event actually probably received a couple of them. And then from there, I look at the behaviors. And so we sent out 1,000 emails, 10 of them dropped, pretty good. 3 of them deferred, no trouble. But then it's that delivered, the open, and the click that are kind of important. And realistically, it's more the open and the click, because those behaviors tell me something different. And so then you can start to look at the different lists. So if you were to click on that open, it's going to give you that list, and you could select them, you could tag them, you could do different actions with them. But the behavior that I actually kind of embark on is I'll build out campaigns for folks who have opened or folks who have clicked, and they might get different experiences. So just like when we were talking about creating messages that are really custom to that person, right? You can also create experiences that are really custom based on behaviors. And that's the power of that. But again, that's more of the marketing side. So that may not be something that you ever really need to embark on. But it is something that you can do. And if you need to do it, it's been very powerful, because I've seen not only our open rates and our open click rates jump, but I mean, gosh, that example that you showed, it's a 5.6% click rate, which in the marketing world is crazy. You know,
anything above 3 is good.
Yeah. And so I think that that's like a really interesting insight. You guys aren't necessarily here for like a marketing deep dive. Maybe someday I'll do that. But that is one of the really powerful things that you can do with that.
And Sam has it built in. That's the thing. It's just a matter of you have to have the integration with SendGrid in order for that built-in feature to work. That's the template piece. Now, templates come in different flavors as well. Not only the different databases, but for handwritten, if you've got the handwritten integration, I've got handwritten cards, which takes you into a different area because there's very specific rules for making sure that the handwritten card is set up right. It only allows so much length. There's some restrictions and stuff, but it's still part of the template area. So you can go into there. The document library is for those attachments that we talked about. So you can set up all kinds of library of documents that you send out as attachments on emails. But the cool thing about this is they don't get attached until they get sent. And what that allows you to do is set up different versions of it, something that might get updated. For instance, maybe you have a HUD-1 explained document. And if I was just to download this, it's some kind of document, HUD-1 explain. I mean, it's just whatever. Maybe the HUD-1 changed this year or something. Well, I can put in some additional changes and stuff on this, and any template that was using that template, or any email that was using that template, will now automatically get the updated version of it because it's now been updated. It's not something that I'm attaching to the email template itself. And if there's multiple templates using the same file, all of them get updated all at once. So having that ability to have different versions is extremely powerful. You can come in here, you can tag those, you can do all kinds of different things with those attachments and be able to include them. I do have an import option. So I can select, is this a contact property, listing template, whatever. And if you've taken an email from Outlook or from Gmail and you've exported it as an EML file, we can import it and put it in here, selects and tags and stuff. So that's in there. The thing that's brand new is the newsletter builder. And we just recently released this. Newsletter builder is a way where I'm just going to load up one that I've already got just so that I don't have to go through the entire thing. I'm going to do Cinco de Mayo. Let's do this one here. Okay, so if you do newsletters, if this is something that you do regularly, monthly, hopefully, if you're going to be doing newsletters, we have our newsletter editor, and this is an AI newsletter editor. What we do is we let you build the different components of that newsletter. So there's going to be a title area. So whenever I click on that, it highlights that title area. If I look at that, it says, what's the objective of this title? Well, it's the edition title and hook. That's all it really needs to know, is that it's the edition title and hook. I can go in there and I can manually change it if I want or whatever. Yes. I can have AI suggest it based off of some stuff, but this goes back to my Lego idea, my Lego block piece. Each element of this is a different block and it has its own objective. So if I go and look at this, this article piece here is a short personal introduction piece. It could be much more sophisticated as far as an objective. You can put as much in there as you want. You can put in more detail and it'll generate it. But the idea of this is every month I can load up this exact same template layout, the building blocks of what it is, And all I have to do is come over here and give it a new theme. What's my theme for the month? Maybe my theme is in February, it's, Valentine's Day. Couldn't come up with Valentine. Valentine's Day, or Love Month, or whatever you want to call that, and you put in that theme, and then you say generate. Well, then it goes and the title goes to that theme. The banner goes to that theme. The articles talk about that theme, and each month it generates something new, but based off of a different theme. You can add call to action buttons that lead you to different places. You can create photos of different things, and every one of them can be identified with some basic objective, but have it themed with some idea that's unique for that month or week or whatever, and it be included, and it customize it. This is a Gemini image that was generated, the perfect pair, whatever. So it goes in, whatever the theme is, it creates the image that goes along with it, considering the objective of that photo. So each element of this is put together as building blocks of a newsletter. You can make it as long or as short as you want. We've got different starter layouts. So maybe instead of a big newsletter type thing, maybe it's just an open house invite, and it's just very basic. And maybe I want to do something with that. So you can set up different layout themes for different things that you customarily do. They look generally the same. You want to try to keep the theming of it similar. And even once you've got it defined, like here, the independence on this is the color, but maybe I want to change it to blush rose or some other color. The entire theming of it can be your brand colors based off of whatever they are. If you do green, if you do blue, whatever, you can create those themed items and stay within your brand. By doing this, I've just taken what, if you have somebody generating your newsletters on a monthly basis, they're doing the same thing. They're coming up with some theme, they're coming up with some content, and they're building whatever it is. Now you have the ability to come in here and it's like, well, I don't like this particular banner image or whatever, then I can change it. But I can do whatever I want to here. Let me just grab some. This has a title, it has a banner image, highlight section. The highlight is kind of typically like a reversed color image. Article section, in this one here, why this home is worth visiting. And then I can put in some details about what I want to say about this, and then it generate all the content and everything for it very quickly. Newsletters, there's all kinds of different layouts of things that you can do. Buyer tips, seller tips. Again, it's similar to the generations, but in this case, it's very specific, and you're remaining within a guideline of the building blocks of content. And each content block has its own objective. It's that it builds that section on based off of some overall scoping theme. You can still go in there and change the content. You can edit it however you want. If you want to manually create the section, you can certainly do that, but it all keeps it very very centralized and usable within one area. Once I create this, let me just go back here to the standard newsletter piece. Some of the things that we've got on there, we've got title block, which we've got on there, a banner image, article sections, highlighted sections, a photo area, a call to action button, just a divider or spacer area. You can set those up. There's some column rows, so you can set up some columns of information, either 1, 2, or 3 columns of information. The social icons, so like if I come down here and maybe I want to include my social icons, boom, there's my social icons. Because I've set them up in the past, it'll take me straight to whatever social it represents. I can go in there and I can edit each one of my socials, set them up the way I want. Once I set them up once, I don't have to go back in there and re-edit them each and every time. Such a time saver, when generating this kind of stuff. Recent listings. So one of the things that you can do, let me come here, let me put it right here. I'm going to come here and I'm going to say right after this, I want you to insert the recent listings. In which case I can come in here and say, well, I want you to look for any of my active, coming soon, or pre-listing items within the past X number of days. I don't have that much in there, so I'm going to expand this out a little bit. I'm going to say 360 days. Yeah, this is a demo account, so I don't have a lot of stuff in here that's accurate. Max number of listings. Maybe I only want to show the last 3 listings that I've gotten in the past 30 days or something. If you guys get a bunch of listings, and then the max number of columns. So you can have it as either a 1-column list where it has the photo and the description, or you can have a photo description where it's 2 columns, or you can do 3 columns. So you can do different numbers of columns, different numbers of images. You can, within SAM, within the listings area, we've got places where you can select where are these links coming from. I've got marketing titles, I've got special features. Where's the text of this image coming from? I do have my hero image description. So whatever image that I've got on there, I can include that hero image that goes along with it and its description. Do I have any links that go along with that? So maybe I want it to link to whatever I've got in my listing details links. They click on it, it opens up to the listing details. So you can save this how you want, click on save, and then anytime you print this, it would find the most recent 3 items or however many you've specified in the system. Now you can say, make sure that it has a photo. If it doesn't have a photo, I don't want it included. I'll just leave it like that for right now. Now, what I can do is manually load it just to see what's in there. So I can do a manual load option. And now, boom, it has found my 3 within the certain area. I only had 2, so that's why I went to 365. I don't have anything recent, but the hero photo that's on there and the description that goes along with it. Maybe I only want it to be max columns of 1, because I want maybe a bigger image and the details. So now whenever I click on that, now anytime that I go to print this newsletter, or not print, but create this newsletter, right before it does it, it will automatically go out to my listings, find the photo, find the description, automatically insert it into my template so that I can send it out and do whatever I want to with it. That's, such a time saver. You can edit how the image looks, borders, rounded corners, all that kind of stuff, set that up how you want. So very quickly being able to use the AI to be able to build stuff. Well, all the text parts of this was built out with the AI. I just loaded in the image. That then content that was created then gets put into the AI generated newsletter automatically. You can then go in there and you can, if you want to go in there and change it, you can certainly change it, edit the information and do whatever you want to with it. That it's perfectly acceptable, but it allows you to make those changes. The other thing that you can do is and we will include it once we get the bomb option, but for those users that use Dub, I can include a dub video where I choose dub here, come down here to the dub area, and I can choose which video do I want to use. It goes out to my dub account because I've set up my dub integration, and it says, okay, let me load the videos, free AI tools and automations event. So here's my event video that I did for this little advertisement piece, and it will load it and then click on save. So now whenever I look, there's my dub video. The advantage here is that I can include that dub video for new listings or whatever. It includes it. And then whenever they click on it, it takes you to the landing page for that selected video. And now I know, when they played it, when they looked at it, lots of behavioral information through dub. And that's extremely powerful as well. So this is a 3 or 6 second GIF image or GIF file image. It's not the actual video. Whenever you click on this, though, it takes you to the landing page for that piece. So lots of pieces there for those pieces that want to do that. Now, the last piece that I want to make sure that you're aware of is like on an article item where it's the main story or whatever, you can come in here and you can use that Manus integration if you've got it turned on. Check that you want the Manus integration, put in the objective of that Manus. One of the people that was looking at this said, oh, every weekend I send a newsletter out to my people telling them the events that's happening this weekend. Well, all you got to do is say, give me a list of the top 10 things happening this weekend in Springfield, Missouri area, or whatever. And Manus will go out, do the research, bring that information back, and automatically fill it in for you into the description. And then you can go in there and you can edit it once it brings back that information. So you can do some stuff. I think I did one with local outdoor events. So here's one where I said, using my articles piece here, I gave it research family fun and exciting things to do this weekend in Springfield, Missouri. Okay, that's all I gave it, is just that right there. What it did is, using Manus, it went out and it created all of this. So it listed out each and every element of that. And then I can go in there and make changes to it, change the layout if I want or whatever. So if I wanted to, like this, scroll down, it's not previewing it quite right. It would look like this, but I can go in here and say, this is kind of cool. So you're in your HTML editor, either emails, templates, or even in here in the newsletter area, where you click on the little shimmers on the right-hand side, it opens it up. Maybe I could say something like this, where I can say, maybe I highlight this area and I say, make the background of the table heading red. Something I can do all kinds of changes to it, and the AI does the change for me. So any of the content, if you not sure how you want something to look, or you want it reworded, maybe I don't want it worded this way, I can come in here, tell it how I do want it worded, and then go about that process. So much AI is built into this that gives you that capability of doing the different things that need to get done. Once you get it all set up, I can then save it and use it the way it is.